if you open an account, it's sort of, and he said you don't have to buy a lot of stuff. Buy the things you like. Whatever it is that you use must be good because you like it.
Like Nabisco. If you like Nabisco cookies, you know it sells, buy it.
Just buy a few shares. We're not talking about, and we're not talking about traders. That's a whole different world and stuff like that. We're not talking about. We're just talking about having your account, saving some money, putting it into stocks so it will appreciate without you having to pay taxes on the appreciation. That, in essence, is why you need to do it, because you get the appreciation and you don't have to pay immediate taxes on the depreciation. So everybody should open a brokerage account. Buy 5 shares of this, 5 shares of that. I don't know about you, but I go to Dominex. So I own Dominex. I buy Dominex stock. Whatever kind of car you drive, buy that stock. I mean, GM would have been a good buy when it was going on.
But the whole thing about it is, since we're afraid of going there, what would you suggest we do the first thing?
What? Open an account. The first thing I would suggest doing is opening the account. Go online, open an account for yourself. Take some money.
And when you send some money, how much is that? How much can I do that for?
I would say $100.
Okay.
You take $100, $200.
So don't buy those shoes. Buy some stock.
Right.
In that shoe company.
And like I said, and you mentioned that you want to create a foundation. That's an excellent way to start creating a foundation, because you buy, and at some point in this, you would need to talk to a tax lawyer about how you transfer assets over, to a nonprofit and so forth, because I'm not an expert in that. But you can start accumulating the wealth for the account, and the sooner you start it, the better. And again, you should be looking at a 5 to 10 year window of not needing that money, because what's going to happen is, the market goes up and the market goes down, the market goes up and the market goes down. So you can't. And but you look at the long term, the market will go up, and it will go up more than a savings account.
Because the savings account is 1%.
Right.
It went from 5. It went from 5 to 1.
1%. I think you guys are talking about opening an account at a credit union, and you should, because credit unions have lower fees. They charge lower interest. The downside is, of course, they don't have 1,000 ATMs on every corner. But who needs that now? Because you can go to Walgreens and get money. You can go to the grocery store and get money. Everywhere you go, if you have a debit card, you can get money without going to an ATM. And like I said, the fees are higher at a standard bank. They can. Their credit requirements are different at a standard bank as opposed to a credit union. So if you can, I would strongly advise you to open an account at a credit union, because they charge less for a credit card. The interest rates on a credit card is usually less at a credit union. Interest rates on cars are usually less. Auto purchases are usually less at credit unions. So if you can, I would strongly advise you to do it.
And how do you go about finding them? Are there just some general names, or do you just go online and say credit union
I would
Chicago?
search Credit Union Chicago
Okay.
and see what comes up. And I don't know where you work, but oftentimes your employer will have some relationship with a credit union.
And then credit unions also have boundary lines. So if you're living under a certain zip code or boundary line, then you can apply to that credit union that's in your area.
But you can use other ones as well, because I have a credit union that's actually in Indiana, but they have a shared system. So I can actually go to one that's down the street in the State of Illinois building, but there's only certain things you're allowed to do.
Right.
So they have reached out to be more national.
Yeah.
Make sure
They have to
Right,
merge.
there's definitely one in the State of Illinois building.
Make sure it's a nationally certified one too.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually it goes like with the Teachers Association.
Mm-hmm. And see, and that brings up the point, if you're in some sort of professional association, they may have a credit union affiliation as well.